Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. So this is part 3 to our Bulgarian catamaran build. This is a MHZ bare hull. This build series will be basically start to finish fitting out this this big catamaran. Okay, today we're actually going to be installing these MHZ M4 threaded hatch security lock inserts. Okay, they get set into the hull, and then you basically use M4 threaded screw to screw and unscrew your hatch, right? This is a very common method for securing the hatch on these larger hulls. Kind of wish I would have picked some of these up for my Animal Twin, because they're actually perfect for that boat. Next few videos, I'm going to introduce you guys to everything we're going to be using. I'm waiting on an order from Australia. As soon as it gets here, I'll give you the full rundown of the parts list and everything that's going to be going into this boat. We'll start our setup, find the best setup, find the best CG, get our drives and rudder, get the whole nine. You know, it's a full build series. I think the boat gang can actually learn a lot from this build series. The techniques we're using to work this boat can be scaled down for smaller boats, right? It's going to be a great learning experience for everybody involved. I'll basically just kind of show you how to do a couple of the inserts, and then we'll kind of go from there with it. I think the first thing we need to do is go ahead and peel this tape off. It's kind of in our way, right? So peel this off, because I've already got my hatch marked. I'll show you how I come up with that. This is something that you guys didn't see. This is like the prep work you want to do before you mount your hatch, especially on these new hulls, right? You want to get you a sanding block, you know, if the hatch don't fit right, that is, right? You want to make your hatch fit perfectly, you know? You want to make sure it's the same height as the hull, right? And you don't want it to be like too hard to get off, okay? So I basically, off camera, I did this. This is like the first thing I did to the hull. Got the nerve up, right? And took me like a 220. This is probably a good grit, because it don't take too much off. You can work it, put it on there, back and forth, sand, back and forth, fit, sand, fit, sand. And I basically worked around this hatch, right, to get the perfect fit, height-wise and the circumference-wise, right? So now we have a hatch that fits the boat perfect. You don't have to really work to get it on. You don't have to really work to get it off. It's a tight fit, okay? So that's the first thing I did, okay? If you have not painted your boat, or the boat is about to go into paint booth or something, and you're going to paint the inside of this hatch opening, right now is a good time, before you actually install these inserts, probably a good time to go ahead and sand around the lip of your hatch, okay? As you can see, there's some imperfections, right? See these little, like, these are divots, not raised spots, they're divots. So like right here, that's a raised area. You see that? See how I sanded that off? So right now is a good time to go ahead and get the inside of the hatch opening, the deck opening, like sanded and prepped up. Because once you put these inserts in, you know, you're not going to be able to sand it flat, right? You'll have bloop, 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 bloop. You'll be bumping into stuff, okay? So we want to go ahead and do that. All right, I've already been working on it. I still have a little ways to go, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I came up with my my markings here. Okay, I did it from the inside. I didn't really go off the hatch. For me anyway, it was easier to work off the hatch. You have rounded areas here, so you kind of have to to kind of go from a mark, you know, maybe mark right here and then measure from like there, because that's a rounded area, trying to find these lines right here, right? So just kind of go from that mark, and it was like 20.5 inches or something, right? So I basically found center. It was 20 and a half, 10 and a quarter is where my center was, right? So I marked center. You can also pull from the transom to double check your work, right? Pull from this side, double check your work, okay? Found center. That's probably the toughest part. Once you find center, you can measure this side, find center, or just figure out a good place to put it. I used this guy, found center, pulled off of the center, got my mark there, pulled it from center, got my mark here, copied it on both sides. It's not rocket science. Back here, basically the same thing. I found center, divided that, and then I found where I wanted to put my marks back here, and I duplicated it forward. Okay, pretty simple. Once I got my marks laid out, I put my canopy on, and then I marked my marks on the canopy. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Making sure that you got the mark, like the distance away from the edge, like 100% on the money. I mean, it's got to be on the money. The drill can't slip. It's got to be perfect, right? So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this. So it's 8.8, so 4.4. 4.4. Yeah, when you're marking this out, right, because this has got to be so precise, correct? When you're marking this out, take in consideration the pencil width from the end of the ruler, right? So that little thousandth of an inch will make or break this install. You know, I've actually been doing some playing around here. Not really playing. I'm like dead nut serious about this. I still don't think I got it close enough to the edge. You see that gap right there? And on the ledge of this, it's got to be, it really needs to be butted up. I mean, I got to have it dead nuts on the edge. You see that? So I thought I had the measurement right here. Actually, I thought I had it right here, but as you can see, it's too far away, right? What I'm doing is incrementally stepping it down here. So I thought I had it right, and I keep looking at it. The more I look at it, the more I question it. So I tightened it down. So I'm going to move it forward a half a millimeter or so. So we're going to try that. Trying to get this like on the freaking money, man. See that little gap? The end of my ruler and my pencil, there's always a little gap. So when you're trying to do a precise measurement here, you gotta take that into consideration, right? So to make sure I get this on the money, we're gonna go through the same exact steps I would do for the hull. Okay, dead nut center my mark. That bit scares me. It wants to grab like crazy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. See what I've done here? Made sure I got it perfect, you know. So that's the lip, right? That's perfect. So hopefully this carries over onto this hatch. Let's double check this one. Actually, let's double check them all, because I get to goofing around on camera with you guys. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Finally got a chance to come out here and work on this boat today. Alright. Double, quadruple, triple checked. Don't screw this up, Big B. I'm using my neck mount. Really, it's the distance from the edge is what you really got to get right. Then you got to go straight down. Check it before you go for the gusto. That's what gets you right there, man. This is a small pilot bit. I gotta look at it. I can't help it. I can't help it. Okay. Damn, I'm gonna have to file all of these out. I'm gonna have to file every one of them, cause I about messed up over here. You know, I almost messed up. Thank God I didn't. But I'm gonna file all. Well, actually, you know what? I got a stepped bit that we may actually use. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one for you. Okay, I'm gonna try to step it, this one right here. I'm putting some pressure this way so it don't blow out the side or something crazy, you know, because I about blew it out. I didn't, but I almost did. Thank God we reinforced all this, right? Okay, now you get the file. Where's my round bastard at? Is it big enough for you? Almost. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Get the Dremel out. But I don't feel like it. Little by little. I know some guys probably drill it and be done with it, right? Not me. Not Big B. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is an old file. It's wore out. Oh, yeah! See that? Freaking Incredible Hulk, boy. I just broke a damn hardened steel file. Booyah! Huh? Call me bastard. Call me bastard. Call me bastard. Oh, ching up. See, you do it real slow and you get a nice tight fit, right? Just sucks down in there. Come on. One down, two down, 8 to go. Okay, I can't leave you guys hanging. I can't leave you hanging. Before I do all these, I got for personal, I got to check this and make sure it's right. I can't just leave you hanging. I'm going to have to do this to every one of them. I can't just do them all and then come back and check them all at one time. Hell no, I got to do each one. Ooh, doggy. Nice tight hole. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Ooh. That ain't gonna be too bad. You gotta do that 10 times. It ain't gonna be too bad, right? I'm gonna be cussing this boat out before it's all done with. I'm like, I thought I was gonna be sad to get rid of it. I'm gonna be happy. I'm like, you know, human drill here trying to take the hatch off. Oh shit. All right, I got it figured out. After 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, I got it figured out. So what you do is you hold your hands on the boat and you run this thing at a high speed, right? You get it started right where you want it. Man, that's perfect. Dead nut center. Right, do that. And you kind of hold it. You're pushing down, but you're ready to push up at the same time. It's like red light, green light, right? Green light, green light, green light, green light. Red light. There we go. That's the monster. That's the monster. So you get her lined up. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Oh. All right. It's like three days since I started this project, and I must say I've learned a lot during this process. I really have. So all hulls, all boats, they're not created the same, right? This particular hull right here, it had a very narrow lip around the edge of this boat. This side right here was extremely narrow, right? So we have to kind of make these inserts work for our application, right? So that being said, I've actually done some research, talked to Mark's Boat Works, and he just installed some of these, well, something like these on his Zonda, and he actually installed his this way, which is smart because it has that little flange around it, and that will prevent it from pulling out, right? So on this particular hull here, the lip's very narrow, and the way this hatch is laid up, it has this like contoured edge. You see it? It's like curved right here. You see that? So basically, this wouldn't work. Even if we had a M3, well, I guess maybe an M3 would work. It might have worked. These are M4, so we had to kind of make it work for this boat, right? So what I've done is I actually, sorry, my hands are dirty, you guys. Paint all over my hands. Actually modified this. I could have cut a little angle on one side, right? So this little contour sits right, it's perfect. It actually lays down in there perfect, right? But it was kind of an eyesore. I just really didn't like these like hanging down so low, and you can't really like grind them shorter because the threads start so far down. You see that? So what I did is I actually cut a carbon fiber backer like this. Okay, cut 10 of them, and it will get installed under. It's kind of a tight fit under the top side. Okay, and it will basically turn out like this. Not quite done. I basically installed these 2 at a time. I put my clothespin on each side, right? Wait till about 80% cure. Pull the clothespin, I put the hatch on, and I would test the screw in those 2 inserts I installed. Right? I went to the next set, put the hatch on, epoxied them in, put the hatch on, tested the screw. If it needed to be adjusted, I adjusted it. And what I did is I mixed up some of this black pigment. It's a resin dye. And I epoxied these backer plates on, right? They kind of do 2 things. It's kind of like an aesthetic. It also reinforces the insert area, and it acts as a nut for the insert. Not a nut, it just gives it more surface area to bond to, right? So it's kind of like a three-part deal. Once I'm done, I'll get them all sanded down perfect. I've pretty much got these all like contoured and sanded. What I'm going to do, my last application, I'll mix up some like thin epoxy with this pigment, and we'll go around the whole inside of this hatch opening with black pigmented epoxy, and that will actually give it like a nice dark black look. I'll also epoxy the bottom of these, color the bottom of these inserts so they don't really stick out like a sore thumb. Actually, there's a couple more steps which we'll do in some later videos. This video is long enough. We got these nice Phillips flathead screws here for the Hatch Security. Got 10 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all these off with this handy dandy precision driver by Secure. Mino, the owner of this hole, sent this to me because he knew I'd pull my hair out, what's left of my hair, trying to take all 10 of these screws on and off, getting in and out this boat on the water, testing and tuning it right. So it actually comes in handy. I like it. I got it perfect. I've literally taken this hatch on and off probably, I'm not even gonna lie, about 40 times. No shit. This has been a week-long project. Just the hatch. We reinforced it with that carbon fiber, did the 0.5 millimeter carbon fiber front and back, and it should be ironclad for real, man. Yeah. So I'm 95% done with the inserts. We got the reinforcement beautification rings on. Okay, I've got them sanded at a certain angle, right? I took that pigment in my epoxy, I thinned it out and went over it one time. I still need to sand it, and I think I'm going to go over it one more time. But it turned out good, right? That stuff, it's like disguise, right? I even did the very bottom, and I mean, they come out so good. You can't even tell we have that support reinforcement under it, right? I mean, it just blends into the hole, you know? I did the whole lip in that black, and then all this is going to get painted the same color as the hull, right? Even the inserts. So it came out great. It really did. The hatch fits on there perfect. It's like, the hatch is like actually recessed about 0.5 millimeters. So once we put this 1/8 inch thick foam, one-piece foam water seal around it, and then we drill the holes, who's going to know, right? The inserts are in there. It's just all you'll see is a hole, right? We cut this out of a solid piece of foam. This is from Amazon. I don't know if there's a part number on here, but you get like a 5-pack, right? And you basically just trace your hatch onto the foam, and then you mark out like however thick your lip is, and you cut it out with scissors. Not exactly sure how I want to glue it in yet. I was thinking either contact cement or I want something that's permanent, but it can be removed and cleaned up. So contact cement's a good idea, or like a thin double-side tape is what Kobe had recommended, right? So it's going to get either foam on the lip or foam on the hatch opening itself. I have enough. We can try both ways, see which one does the best overall, right? In an upcoming video, we just got this 0.5 millimeter carbon fiber in today. Okay, this carbon fiber is actually for what we're calling a boundary. What we're going to call a boundary around the outside perimeter of the hatch itself, right? It's going to basically start here, stop here, right? And then it's going to be about a 12 millimeter boundary all the way around the perimeter, all the way around. It's going to be cut, epoxied, and built into the actual hatch itself. That way, once we actually put our security screws in, the security screws will actually be set onto this 0.5 millimeter carbon fiber, and all the impact force will be taken up onto the carbon fiber and not the actual hatch itself, right? One of these hatches, for one, they're probably hard to get your hands on, right? You don't want to lose it, so we're going to put flotation in it, and you don't want to crack it, you know. This is an expensive boat, and the hatch alone for this thing's probably a couple $100, I would imagine. So we're going to make a boundary, a one-piece boundary. I'll trace it out. I'll trace the hatch out onto the carbon fiber. We'll take it over to the router table over there, and we'll cut it the same exact width all the way around, and then stick it onto the hatch, right? I told Mino I could make a piece that goes over this, like with this carbon fiber tape or my Venom carbon. You know, we could put some PVA over this right here, make this little curve, cut the carbon fiber, and then attach that curve to the carbon fiber and make a whole ring for it. But he didn't want me to have to go through all that trouble. Kind of glad, because that would be kind of tedious. But I could do it. I could freaking do it, right? So yeah, that's going to be coming up in another video. We'll test the difference between a lip and a hatch mounted foam to see which is better, right? So I really appreciate you guys watching. This has been, like I said, a week project, and I've tried to condense the video down to something that's like watchable, right? Because I had about 2 or 3 hours of footage. Like I filmed doing like half of these, and I was like, golly, you guys don't want to see all that. All I did was epoxy them in, and then I put those little inserts in. Making the inserts, those little reinforcement things, that was kind of tedious, time consuming, but well worth it. In the end, when this thing flips at 100, I don't really have to worry about the hatch. You know what I'm saying? Like cracking, breaking, or nothing like that, because it should be ironclad. One of my viewers asked me about this. This is a little cutout for a GPS, because you don't get GPS signal through the hatch. So they actually leave an open area there. You know, they don't put carbon fiber there. They backed it with fiberglass. So you just stick your GPS on there, so you don't have to tape the GPS to the hull itself. I want to make one of those for my Animal Twin. I could do it. You just cut a hole. Well, actually, you PVA, you wax it, you PVA it, and then you lay down a fiberglass on the PVA. You pull that mold off. You cut the hull out, you put your little mold back on, tape it on there, whatever, and then you flip it over, and then you lay down your fiberglass and then reinforce it. Take that little mold off, and you actually have a little window, fiberglass window. It's not going to look like this, but it's definitely doable, right? So we'll see you guys next time. More to come on the big Bulgarian cat, right? We got a lot more to do. We're just getting started, just getting our feet wet in this build. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.